Hi, hello folks. This is again we are making a journey with you on a virtual lab as a part of this TD611 course on agro-based industries. What we will do in this particular lab is one of the important spoilage agent, as we talked in the course, is the different types of microorganisms which come on the. I explained to you the link or the chain mechanism of the microbial attacks, that you have a high moisture or a moisture variation, and due to this moisture variation you have the water activity which goes up, and as soon as there is a conducive water activity you have these microorganisms which come, and then of course the higher organisms like insects which come on this. So what we essentially the domain of food processing or food engineering technique or strategy that you adopt, what technique to use, largely depends on what is the count of this microbial account and type of microbial account. So whether you want to use a ozone treatment, whether you want to use some chemical treatment, or you want to use some physical treatment like microwaves or radio frequency or things like that, you need to really know what is your target microorganism and what is the quantum of that target microorganism in this food system that you have. So as I said in the class, you have microorganisms both on a natural food product as well as processed food product. So therefore it becomes extremely important for agro-based industry, food industry, to sort of have the total microbial count, which will sort of allow us to determine what is best before, what is shelf life, and the way you define the shelf life. Thank you. Praful and Robin would sort of take you through the journey of how the media is prepared, how autoclaving is done, how samples are prepared, and then plating is done, and how they are incubated, and subsequently how do you sort of in the end count the colonies to make a final report on total count. Thank you.
So for food and food spoilage studies, microbial plate count is one of the parameters we generally use for checking the during shelf life studies of food and food samples. So microbial plate count is very basic practice which we use for microbial biological studies, and in microbial plate count we generally go for counting total bacterial count and yeast and mold count in the food samples. Today we are going to check the total bacterial count and yeast and mold count using two different methods and two different agars. Right. So for this study, these are the general apparatus and glassware and chemicals we require for our method. So these are micropipettes. This is L-shaped rod, or you can call it spreader also. This is test tubes with cotton plus. This we will use for serial dilutions. Then this is conical flask with cotton plug. This we will use for dilution purpose. And these two different agars we have prepared for two different methods. That is for total bacterial count we will use plate count agar. So we have prepared specific quantity, that is 4.87 gram agar, plate count agar we have used. Then in this plate count agar we will use for total bacterial count, and for total yeast and mold count we will use 8.04 gram agar into 250 ml. So both the pH we have checked, the pH should be near neutral for microbial growth. Right. And this is 0.1% peptone water which we will use for serial dilutions. And this is measuring cylinder and tips. For this experiment, the food sample what we are going to use is this wheat bread. So it generally has 4 to 5 days shelf life, and this is day 1. And from this wheat bread, about 10 gram of sample we are going to use. So this is peptone water. So composition of this peptone water is 0.1% peptone and 0.05% NaCl. So we have transferred this 90 ml of peptone water in this flask, and 9 ml of peptone water into these test tubes. And we are later on we are going to so we have plugged it, and this peptone water, transport peptone water, along with this agar and our tips, we are going to autoclave it everything. So autoclaving is generally used for sterilization of microbial which is already present in the sample and solution. So the temperature for autoclaving is 121 degrees and pressure is 15 bar, and we are going to autoclave it for 20 minutes. So this so it will eradicate all the pathogens and bacteria from the sample, and we will get total sterilization. So later on, we will transfer everything into the laminar air flow. We will let it cool, and into this flask, that is 10⁻⁻1 solution, we are going to add 10 gram of our bread sample. So this will be 10⁻⁻1 solution, and from we are going to mix it properly for 2 to 3 minutes, so that the microbial load from the bread will wash away into this solution. And this peptone water is generally good for it gives a favorable environment for bacteria to stay in the solution. And from this we are going to transfer 1 ml into this 9 ml of -2 diluted -2 dilution test tube, and we are going to again mix it. So this will be our total 10 ml solution, and from this again 1 ml will add into this 9 ml of solution. So this will be our -3 dilution. So we have wrapped all the glasswares with aluminum foil so that the moisture won't enter into the bottles and into the test tube during autoclaving. And the microwave tips we have packed in the autoclavable plastic bags, and everything, these all utensils we are going to autoclave. So this is our autoclave equipment, and in this autoclave we are going to transfer our glasswares and media, and this is used for sterilization purpose. So for this, before we start the autoclaving, we need to check the water level in the autoclave, and it should be near the base. And now we are going to transfer all the glasswares and media into that. So while locking, you should make sure that you are locking the opposite ends of the lock simultaneously. So we have transferred all the material into the autoclave, and now we are going to start our autoclaving process. For that purpose, we are going to use 121 degree centigrade temperature that we have set, and we have set the timer to 20 minutes, and now we have to start it. So during autoclaving, the temperature of the temperature inside the autoclave will slowly increase, and it will reach up to 121 degrees. So when it reaches to 121 degrees, the pressure automatically grows to 15 bar. Here you can see the pressure gauge. So this goes up to 15 bar pressure, and this 15 bar pressure and 120 degrees centigrade temperature is enough for total sterilization process. Start. So another equipment which we are going to use is vertical type laminar airflow or biosafety cabinet. The whole purpose of this biosafety cabinet is to provide sterile environment during our operations. So as you can see, there is a chamber inside it. During our practice, we are going to use this chamber, and we are going to use all the serial dilutions and inoculation inside this chamber. But the purpose of this chamber, the laminar airflow, is to provide the sterile environment inside this chamber. Okay. So for the maintaining of this sterility, there are components in this equipment like HEPA filters. As you can see, on the upper side there are holes. So through these holes, the air passes, and the sterile air passes, and it maintains the positive pressure inside. Okay. So before starting our operations, we have to turn on the UV light for 15 minutes. The purpose of UV light is to decontaminate the environment inside, and also for decontamination, like as you can see there is a burner, And this burner, we have to flame this burner for flaming our spreader, glass spreaders or nitro wire loop like that. Okay. So after 20 minutes, we have to turn off the UV light and we have to start the airflow. Okay. So there will be the positive airflow inside, and we have to open this hood for specified level so that only our hands will go inside and we will operate inside, and the outer and inside, the inside environment will not expose to each other. we are going to keep our sample into this incubator. This is set at 37 degrees. So we will keep all our samples inside. So all the samples in which we get all that PCA, that is plate count, we are going to keep inside. This is another incubator which is set at 25 degrees centigrade. In this incubator, we are going to keep our rose bengal, chlorophyll, Senegal agar plates for fungal count. So this is stability chamber, or we can also call it as environmental test chamber. We can set temperature, humidity at our desired level or points. So now it is set at 25 degrees centigrade and RH, percent RH, that is relative humidity is 65. So we are going to keep our sample inside this chamber.